When you look at the account of creation as to how God created the heaven and earth, you will notice that God works with systems rather than with time. God has a vision of creating other creatures to replicate and reproduce what he has created. So he decided that I'm going to use 6 days and then put a system in each of those creatures to keep reproducing themselves while I cease from engaging myself actively in the reproduction of those things that have created once. For example, he created the man in his own image. He decided that I can't be mixing water with the soil every time that I want to create human being. So let me put a system in a man called reproductive system or reproductive organ that can keep reproducing human being for me when I want to create human being again. Then he put the reproductive system in a man. Likewise to other creatures like trees and all of that. He put the reproductive system in each of them for them to keep reproducing themselves, so that anytime God needs to create any one of those creatures, he doesn't need to go and start the whole process of how he created them again. He doesn't need to go and start mixing soil, mixing clay with water to create human being again. He's now resting and he's living abundantly while he's making progress as well. So if you and I want to make progress and living life abundantly, we have no any other choice than to create the system for ourselves that can be replicating our effort. We can choose to work with time for a brief time, just as God decided to work for a brief time, just 6 days, and then he put the system in place that can be replicating and reproducing his work that he has done for that period of 6 days to save himself time. I want you to picture this. Imagine yourself in an estate farm whereby to your left you have a poultry farm of at least an acre with thousands of birds, and to your right you have a piggery farm of at least an acre with thousands of pigs, and to your front you have a cattle ranch of about 5 acres with thousands of cows, and to the signboard you see your name as the owner. How are you going to feel? Are you still going to be worrying about your future and that of your loved ones? Of course not, because you have put a system in place to be working for you even while you sleep. That is the reality that we are selling you at Aroko Farm and Resort here at Ayetoro, Abeokuta, Ogun State. This is especially for modern farmers that want to have their farm in an estate farm that is void of banditry and kidnappers. Here you are fully secured, and the most important thing is the fact that we have our farms in different clusters. We have cluster for cocoa, cluster for palm tree, cluster for animal farm, and clusters for cash crop like tomato. So if you want to be part of this movement of urban farmers, put a call to me now and make a down payment of 500,000 naira for any of the clusters. Spread your balance for 6 months, 12 months. God can keep reproducing even when he doesn't want to work. Likewise to you and I, we can keep reproducing our income, we can keep reproducing our money if we have created systems to be working on our behalf, even when we are not active in our place of work. Because here is the hard truth. If you are just working with your time, you are just making money when you are actively working, then you are going to be working till you die. And I don't want that for you and I, which is why I am submitting to you that you and I should start working with system. Even though we are still working with our time, we should be working with time to create the system, not just to work for the income or the money, but to create the system that will be keep reproducing or regenerating the income or reproducing the money that we have put in place. And one of the systems that can keep reproducing your money, that can save you from being active every now and then in your place of work or your business, is to invest systematically in income producing assets like real estate that can keep reproducing your money even when you are sleeping, even when you are resting. Because as God is resting, his work of creation is still continuing. People are still reproducing themselves. Every creature that he created is still reproducing itself without God having to work again. And God wants the same thing for you and I. So real estate is one of the systems that can keep regenerating and reproducing your money for you, even while you are not even like lifting your finger to work again. If you really want to create the system in agriculture that can keep making money for you, then Aroko Farm and Resort is one of the best place for you. And with all of that, you can start claiming an acre there with an initial deposit of 500,000 naira, and then spread your balance for at least 6 months and 12 months. So if you are interested, you can just reach out to me now, and then I will get you on board. So I'm looking forward to seeing you to start working with system rather than just laboring with your time alone, because laboring with your time alone is a way of walking yourself to your grave, and I don't want that for you. Peace.